let me share a little story with you about resentment. Okay, so I was bullied in school for two things. One, being smart, which was in the 80s slash 90s, being smart meant you had glasses, and I had the big, thick, Coke bottle glasses. And the other thing I was bullied for, because I developed an eating disorder off that first spat of being bullied, is I got bullied for being fat. Two things that came along later in life that I became really resentful for. Number one was when celebrities started wearing clear glasses. Yeah, they just wore glasses for a fashion item. Now, they were wearing something that I'd personally been bullied for wearing my entire life. And instead of going, yay, glasses are fashionable now, because I still wore them at the time. Glasses are fashionable now. I was like, oh my God, I got bullied for it. And David Beckham's getting applauded for it. Like, no, thank you. Like, and I hated it. I hated when someone with glasses was portrayed as like kind of being sexy or being attractive, right? Because for me, the fact that I had glasses always portrayed me as being nerdy. That's number one. I was resentful. Instead of being like, yes, for bespectacled people, we are taking a step forward, I was resentful. And number two, because I was overweight, was around about the time that Melissa McCarthy and Zach Galifianakis were like both becoming famous and essentially getting cast in every single film. And the so-called fat comedian was seen as like, as an icon. And again, at that point in my life, I probably should have been, because I was still overweight myself at that point. I probably should have been, yes, our time has come. The time for the chonkies has come. We are getting the recognition that we deserve. No, I was unable to feel that at all at that time. I was just resentful that I'd been picked on. And for all I know, both Zach Galifianakis and Melissa McCarthy probably, I've never even looked into this, they were probably picked on for being overweight themselves. I mean, they were definitely trolled whilst like that whole spike happened where they were both in pretty much every film. But they'd probably been picked on all throughout, and they were probably actually having it was their moments. And instead of being on the page with them at that point. But that was not down to them. It was down to unresolved resentment within me. And yeah, okay, is it possible to get jealous of somebody else because they find pleasure in the simpler things and it takes a lot to please you? Yeah, I guess so, because I would want to be a little bit more like that. Sometimes I am a little bit jealous of people that can just zone out, switch off, and just find happiness in small things. But you can condition yourself to do that. You can, because ultimately gratitude isn't about what we have, it's about what we appreciate. So there's a lot of people out there in the world that have everything but appreciate very little. And there's a lot of people out there in the world that have little but appreciate every single thing that they've got. And I think that's actually I think that is a mindset that we cultivate. And I think it is completely and utterly possible for you to cultivate that. The same as how it was possible for me to let go of the resentment, both for people wearing those clear glasses and both for Melissa McCarthy and Zach Galifianakis, and start enjoying their films. It's like, I think it's completely possible once we realize that that's about an unfulfilled resentment that's kind of lurking within us.